A few days ago, I made one of the biggest impulse buys I have ever made, man. I literally spent all of my savings on one fish, but honestly, people, it has been so worth it because this fish is absolutely incredible, man. But yeah, it was a big impulse buy, man. Like, I was not planning to buy a fish that day. I was at the fish store for a completely different reason, and you know what, we might as well start off there. So for anyone who hasn't watched my last video, I went to Wholesale Tropicals to return my beloved catfish Juwel, my stormii catfish, or stormii catfish. Now, I always called it stormii catfish, but then when I went to Wholesale Tropicals, they all called it stormii. But I don't know, I kind of prefer stormii, so I think I'll just carry on calling them stormii catfish. But yeah, either way, like I explained in my last video, stormii catfish get really big, and even though he is fine in my Roma 240 right now, he is eventually going to outgrow that aquarium, and Wholesale Tropicals is my backup place where I was planning to take all of my fish that get too big, but unfortunately they are closing down. As a matter of fact, they're closing down this weekend, and tomorrow on Sunday it's actually their last day, and I am going to be there. So if you're in London or if you live near London and you want to come down and say hi, or just take this opportunity to see Wholesale Tropicals one last time, then make sure you come down, man, because after Sunday, yeah, unfortunately Wholesale Tropicals is closing down forever. But yeah, anyway, so we were in Wholesale Tropicals and I ended up changing my mind. Like, I've got such a big connection with my catfish, I really didn't want to give them back, and after speaking to everyone in the store and they kind of gave me some ideas, I decided that I'm going to get a massive 6-foot aquarium, and I should be able to keep my catfish in that aquarium for all of his life. So yeah, I was in Wholesale Tropicals. I was basically there for no reason, but it also kind of hit me that this is going to be one of the last times that I'm actually in the store. And yeah, I started walking around and I saw something that I knew that they had, and it was quite expensive, and in that moment I just thought, you know what, let me just get this fish, man. It's probably going to be one of my last purchases ever in Wholesale Tropicals. I mean, when I go there on the last day, I'm not really sure if I'm going to get anything. So yeah, in that moment, even though this was really expensive, I decided I'm just going to go for it. And people, I can now reveal that I decided to buy the huge moray eel that they had in Wholesale Tropicals for a few months now. Oh, I can't lie, I am so excited about having this eel, man. I discovered the eel a few weeks ago, but at the time the eel was just completely out of my price range. Like, I have never spent this much money on a fish before, and right now as well I don't really have much money because the whole of last year I pretty much spent all of my spare money on turning this room into my office or YouTube studio, and that also includes setting up these 2 aquariums and putting on all these sound panels, buying new lights, and even getting these small little box mics. Like, they were expensive, man. So yeah, funds were really low right now, but once again, I was in Wholesale Tropicals. It was probably going to be my very last purchase ever in that store. We might as well make it one of the most expensive purchases that I've ever made for my aquariums. I think the most expensive fish I bought before that was Juwel, who cost me about £120, and then it's Lily, my first moray eel, who cost me £110. So yeah, this is almost twice as much, man. It really hurt my heart, but yo, as soon as I saw this eel in the bag, yo, it was absolutely worth it. It is such a beautiful eel. But yeah, the day ended up being an amazing day. But yeah, anyway, now I know some of you might be thinking like, yo, Scoops, that is a very big moray eel. Are you not worried about it attacking your other fish, or you might fight with Lily, my current moray eel? And yes, people, these are of course all things that I thought about in the store. And yeah, so let's break it down. In regards of the eel itself, the freshwater moray eel is actually surprisingly peaceful. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you add anything into the aquarium that can, you know, that's pretty much snack sized, they will end up as a snack. So a small fish like tetras and shrimps, and even baby bosemani rainbow fish, like, they can all end up as snacks for a big enough moray eel. However, fish that are on the bigger size, like the stormii catfish or the chameleon whiptail catfish or the ghost knife or the full-grown bosemani rainbow fish, like, my moray eel gets along with all of them. And yeah, generally speaking, unless you have a really aggressive moray eel, they do tend to be fine with bigger fish. So that in itself wasn't really a problem. There was only really one potential problem, and that is, how is my current moray eel Lily going to react to the slightly bigger new addition to the tank? By the way, I haven't thought of a name yet, so if you have any suggestions, maybe leave them in the comments down below. I went through a phase where I named a lot of my fish after Harry Potter characters, and Lily is actually Harry Potter's mom, Lily Potter. So I was thinking maybe I should name the other one either James, because obviously that's Harry's dad in that, or maybe Snape. Like, if you've watched the movies or if you've read the books, you'll know why I'm choosing those names. But yeah, those are the names I was kind of playing with. But if you can can come up with some cool names as well. Maybe something One Piece related, or I don't know, just help me think of a cool name, man. Oh, by the way, the new moray eel, I'm pretty sure is a male as well, according to the guys at Wholesale Tropicals. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a guy name as well. You can kind of tell by the brighter colors apparently. The more dull colors is for the females. But yeah, moray eels, they do tend to be a bit territorial. So it was going to be interesting to see how Lily and the new moray eel react to being in the same aquarium together. Now, of course, when I first got Lily, she was in an aquarium with loads of different moray eels. And the one I bought from Wholesale Tropicals, even though he was by himself for about a month, when they first got him, he was in an aquarium with loads of other moray eels. So they both had the experience of being with other moray eels. And of course, during those experiences, they were in a confined space. So I was hoping that it wouldn't be too bad between the two in the big Roma 240. However, there is one very important thing to note. When it comes to slightly territorial fish like moray eels, there will be some kind of, not necessarily fighting, but there will be some nibbles here and there on the first few days. I mean, in my Roma 200, when I first added in my second rope fish, who I got from a fellow YouTuber called Thoracic, by the way, make sure you check him out. I also got my snakehead gudgeon from him, and yeah, they're both doing great, by the way. But the rope fish, when I first introduced them into the aquarium where my other rope fish is, Nagini, yeah, Nagini got a little bit territorial and she would like bite him a few times here and there, but it is a completely normal thing. It's because they're kind of, you know, trying to assert their dominance in the aquarium, and once they've kind of asserted their dominance and they know the pecking order when it comes to food, they do tend to get along great. Like my rope fish, they are completely fine now. And the same thing is also going to happen with the moray eels. Well, it's happening right now. Keep in mind, this is all a few days ago when I bought the moray eel. It's been a few days now. So yeah, when I first added in the new moray eel, yeah, people, him and Lily, they kind of checked each other out, and they did start, once again, it wasn't really fighting, but they kind of like chased each other a little bit. At one point, the new moray eel was on one side and Lily was on the other, and he kind of came close to, I don't know, maybe he tried to say hello, and then Lily kind of just chased him away again. And I don't know, I haven't seen any actual literal biting yet. They kind of just chase each other away from the caves. But if I compare the first day to now, they have definitely calmed down a lot. Like, they actually chilled together, and the other day I saw them chilling in the same cave. It's just every now and then during feeding, they might nibble at each other a little bit, but yeah, that is completely normal when it comes to introducing territorial fish into the same aquarium. Now, of course, if the fighting does not stop after a week and they're constantly fighting each other and they're starting to get scars and things like that, then of course I will separate them too. I can add one of them into the Roma 200, and then when I get the 6-foot aquarium, I'll be able to add one of them in there, and we can split them up like that. Or I'm pretty sure it won't be very hard to find someone who'd be willing to take the new moray eel, because he is an absolute beauty. However, ideally I do want to keep them both, and once again, it looks like they are completely fine now. They don't go after each other at all. It was literally just right at the start. Now, let me be clear though, this does not work with every single fish. Like, if you add 2 Siamese fighting fish, like male ones, into an aquarium, they of course will fight each other to death. Now, the really cool thing about the new moray eel is he started eating straight away. I mean, not on the first day, but on the second day, I put in some shrimps, and yeah, my new moray eel obviously smelt the shrimp, and he came out straight away and he started eating them. And yo, it is crazy because like when I first got Lily, she took about a whole week to start eating. Like, I think it was even close to 2 weeks. Like, she was not taking any food at all, and then finally one day she had some bloodworms, and then from that moment forward she started eating. And yeah, I kind of expected this moray eel to do the same thing. I mean, I've also got quite a few comments from you guys when some of you got moray eels yourself and yours wouldn't eat for a few days, and I would tell you like, hey, it's completely normal, mine took about 2 weeks. So yeah, I was kind of expecting him to take a long time to start eating. However, on the first or second day, technically I guess, he started eating, and people, I was so surprised. I did not think that this eel was going to start eating that quickly, especially considering that Lily was showing some territorial behavior. I thought he might be a little bit stressed, but it looks like he's comfortable enough to actually eat, which is always a really good sign. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the video, guys, don't worry. I know the Roma 240 is starting to look like it's quite stocked, you know, on the verge of being overstocked. However, I am getting a 6-foot aquarium. It's just gonna take me a little while to save up. Actually, you know what? Yo, big shout out to, one second. Yo, people, I couldn't believe my eyes today, man. Very, very big shout out to AJ Loton 101. Thank you so much for the £5 super chat. That is definitely going towards the fund for the aquarium. Hey, yo, people, as I'm sitting here editing, I just got another super thanks from one of my long-time subscribers, Dash Drones. Hey, yo, bro, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. And yeah, if there's anyone else who would like to support this journey of saving up for the 6-foot aquarium, whether it's £1, £2, £5, whatever it is, I am so appreciative of it. Oh, and of course, don't forget, there's also a free way to support this journey, which is just by leaving a like and subscribing, and maybe even leaving a comment if you have the time, because all of these things kind of feed the algorithm and helps the channel grow a little bit. Oh yeah, in regards of the tank being overstocked, guys, like I said, 6-foot aquarium is coming and loads of those fish will be moving over to that. So even though it looks like it could potentially get cramped soon once some of the fish start growing bigger, don't worry, there is a new aquarium coming. But yeah, now, like I said, it's actually been a few days now, and the moray eels, even though at the start they had a few fights here and there, as of right now they are completely calm. And the new one, during the day, he pretty much hides away most of the time. Like, there's this quite big cave underneath one of the wood pieces. It doesn't look like there's any space, but they've actually, well, Lily dug herself a nice deep cave underneath it, and yeah, they're both kind of using it at the moment. And during the day they pretty much spend their time in that cave. However, at night time, my new moray eel is so active, like much more active than Lily. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lily does get quite active at night as well. She comes out and swims around a little bit. But yo, the new one, he actually, you know what, now that I think about it, it's probably the color. Because Lily's color, she kind of blends in with the background at night, so you can't really see her. It's only when I'm literally looking into the aquarium that I see that Lily's out. But the new one, he's quite bright and quite easily visible when you look into the aquarium. So maybe it's just that. But either way, yo, he is so active. I mean, even last night, he fully came out and showed like his whole length of his body and that. And oh, honestly, even though it cost me so much money, I have no regrets at all. This eel is absolutely amazing, man. But yeah, people, I'm gonna keep a close eye on the new eel's behavior, and so far it's looking good. Like I said, the little fight in here and there at the start, that of course was very predictable. I already knew that was gonna happen after having that experience with my rope fish. But yeah, now that it looks like they're past that phase, oh, it's been so worth it, man. And even though I spent all of my savings on it, like, you can always start saving again. However, wholesale tropicals, they are of course closing down forever tomorrow. So this was just one of those moments where if I didn't take this opportunity, I just wouldn't get this opportunity again. I mean, I'm pretty sure as well, a moray eel that size, if I went anywhere else, it probably would have cost at least £300–400. Like, £200 was actually quite cheap for a moray eel that size, and I'm honestly surprised that no one else bought this moray eel. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna skip a few lunches for the next few weeks at work and that, but it was so worth it, man. But yeah, like I mentioned at the start of this video, all of this only happened because I made the crazy decision to try and return my catfish. And if you want to see that video, then click right here.